Shire lives a brave little hobbit who we all admire. With his long wooden pipe and fuzzy woolly toes, lives in a hobbit hole and everybody knows him. Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins, only 3 feet tall. Well, it's Bilbo Baggins, greatest little hobbit of them all. Alright, obviously I gotta teach some of you guys the Tao of this particular song. First off, this hat is culturally inappropriate. Where was I? Oh yeah. Yeah, I gotta teach you guys the Tao of this particular song. See, this isn't one of those songs where you sit there zen-like listening to it. See, that was zen, this is Tao. This is one of them call and response type songs. That means when the singer says the name of the hero, y'all are supposed to echo it back in 4-part harmony with feeling. So we're gonna try this again as soon as it comes round on the guitar. Now remember, of course, when you're singing about mythological creatures and stuff, you gotta sing loud. Because imagine, if you will, one person, just one single solitary person, singing a chorus of the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins and walking out. Why, you'd probably think there was some kind of crazy darn fool wearing a referee shirt and a utilikilt, and you'd probably be right. But now, 2 guys walked in, hand in hand, singing the chorus of the Ballad of Bilbo. Are you signaling me?
No, go ahead. I think it's great, Arlo.
Oh, you're giving me the little tribute thing. Okay. All right, now, 2 guys walked in, hand in hand, especially here, singing the chorus of the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins and walking out. Why, you'd probably think they're both geeks and you wouldn't want to talk to either one of them. And, of course, depending upon how they're dressed, you might think they're the ultimate all-ha icon god of geekdom, the ultimate uber geek from whom all geeks have descended, the Trekkie. But now imagine, if you will, 50 people, yes I said 50 people a day, walking into Jeff Mach's wicked Renaissance Fair Mad Tea Party type thing, singing a chorus of the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins and walking out. Well, friends, you're going to think it's a movement, and that's what it is. The Bilbo Baggins Anti-Massacre Movement. And all you got to do to join in is echo back the name of the hero. As soon as it comes right on the guitar, here it comes. Well, it's Bilbo. Bilbo Baggins, only 3 feet tall. Well, it's Bilbo. Bilbo Baggins, greatest little hobbit of them all. All right. That was so good, I think you deserve to hear the rest of the song. Oh well, hobbits are peace-loving folk, you know. They never like to hurry and they take things slow. They don't like to travel away from home. They only like to eat and be left alone. But one day Bilbo was asked to go on a big adventure to the caves below, to help the dwarves bring back the gold that was stolen by a dragon in the days of old. It's Bilbo. Bilbo Baggins, only 3 feet tall. Well, it's Bilbo. Bilbo Baggins, greatest little hobbit of them all. All right. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, there's a funny thing about this song is it kind of reminds me of a few things. Like, for instance, who here actually plays music for a hobby career? A couple of you out there? Right, well, did it ever happen to you where you're singing or playing some kind of song, and then all of a sudden you kind of notice that the chords of this song are exactly the same as the chords of some other song? A lot, right? And you never would have thunk of those 2 songs in the same breath together unless you were happening to notice it right then. Well, I gotta tell you, there was this time that I was shopping for a guitar. Not this guitar, but the one that I lost on the subway back on September 22nd a couple of years ago. And which was replaced by this nice one by Phil Fiamano of New York Rocks TV, which I was on a couple of months ago, NewYorkRocksTV.com. There's your plug, Phil. Anyway, I was sitting there in Manny's music, strumming on the various guitars, and I thought, I was doing the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins, and I decided, let's try some other song that's about as different from the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins as a song can possibly be. And you know what it turned out? They were really the same fucking song. So, I decided that other song, I just changed the words around a little bit to make it somewhat more thematically appropriate. And now I feel obliged to do it for you right now. It goes a little something like this. Well, she was a short machine, she kept her pipe weed clean. She's the best darn hobbit that I've ever seen. Lived in a hole and everybody knows. She knocking me out with them full fuzzy woolly toes, and the elves are crying, Nazgul's flying, Saruman's lying, and hobbits are vying. Hearing you should be all night long. You stole a ring, and then you should be all night long. Right about then, I was asked to leave the store. But now there's another thing that this song reminds me of, and I figure I might as well share it with you. You know, I might as well take a break being as this is a long song and everything. It was, this song reminds me of, there was this movie that came out a few years ago in 3 parts, Harmony with Feeling. It was directed by that guy who made Meet the Feebles and Bad Taste and some other movie about a monkey. What was the name of that movie?
Something like that.
Lord of
Lies.
G-strings?
Why are you thinking about a movie about English schoolboys on the desert island? Why does that surprise me coming from here? Rings, that was it. Lord of the Rings. Here we go. And the thing about that movie is there was a scene in the first one of those movies that really got to me. It was the orc mine scene. You might remember the orc mine scene. That was where the camera swooping down, down, down through the anthill like orc mine as the demonic orcs are digging, and they're building armor, and they're growing Uruk-hai demon warriors in a combination pea soup invasion of the body snatcher pods.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Well, that scene really got to me. So as I was walking out of the theater, I was thinking about that scene, and whenever I think of a scene in the movie, I have a tendency to think of the music in the scene in that movie. But for some reason, all I was thinking of is, anybody ever see that movie Ants with a Z? Okay, you remember how that movie opened up? The camera swooping down, down, down through the anthill as those itty-bitty ants were digging, and they're digging, and they're building. And all through it, there's this big band jazzy kind of music that kind of goes like, So now, whenever I was thinking about the orc mine scene, all I could ever hear in my head is and as I was walking down the street, I was just singing. And now whenever I see the movie or think of the book, I go. And I tell this to my roommate who reads the books 3 times a year, and now whenever he sees the books, all he does is go. And he's walking down the street going. And he's waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And he's pounding on my door. And he looks at me with these bloodshot, sleep-deprived, laser beam eyes. And he just goes, curse you. Well, he was chased by wolves, lost in the forest, escaped in a barrel from the Elven King's Hall. Here we go, it's Bilbo! Bilbo Baggins, only 3 feet tall. It's Bilbo! Bilbo Baggins, greatest little hobbit of them all. One more time, let me hear it to the sky! Well, it's Bilbo! Bilbo Baggins, only 3 feet tall. Well, it's Bilbo! Bilbo Baggins, greatest little hobbit of them all.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you, Cleveland, Edmonton, wherever the hell we are. Good night. CaptainZorikh.com.